Okay, so we're going to practice finding area of a circle. And unlike circumference, we only have one formula to use all day today, which means you also are only allowed to use a radius. All right, example A, please find it on your note page. Okay, first things first, I need to look in my circle. This 5 that I've been given, because it goes from the center to the edge, this is my radius. So I'm going to write it down over here. My radius is 5 inches. You always need to have your radius. Next thing we want to write down is our area formula. All day, you should be writing the formula down, no excuses. Okay, after you've written it down once, you need to write it down a second time, but instead of r, you need to fill it in with the number for the radius. So we're going to put 5 to the second power. Okay, remember, 5 to the second power represents 5 times 5. Okay, 5 times 5 leaves me with 25. And then bring everything else down. Now, in math, we always want to have one of our answers in terms of pi. And in math, there are several ways we write things just because. So we're going to flip this around. The number should always go in front because in math, that's how we write it. Here is your first answer. This is the first answer, 25 pi, and because it's area, it's inches squared. That's your first answer. Your second answer, remember, should come from you multiplying 3.14 and the value that you got. Okay, here we go. So that is 20, carry my 2, 7, and 15. Put down your 0 on the next line. That is 8, and 2, and 6. Okay, I'm going to add those together. So 0, 7 plus 8 is 15. Carry my 1. That is 8 and 7. Okay, I got 2 numbers behind the decimal, so I'm going to move it twice. All right, your second answer, the area is 78.50 inches squared. So you should have 2 answers all day today. Next one. First things first. Look in your circle. Because it goes all the way across, this is a diameter. But I need a radius. Remember, radius is half of the diameter. So I just divide this by 2. So my radius is 7. Okay, so radius is 7 centimeters. Okay, next, write down your area formula every single time. Pi r squared. Okay, you're going to rewrite it. Every single time you're rewriting it, so you're writing it twice. But the second time, instead of r, you're going to put in your radius. Okay, again, this is not 7 times 2. This is multiplying 7 twice. So 7 times 7 leaves me with a value of 49. Okay, then you want to bring everything else down. Okay, now I want to rewrite it. Remember, you want the number in front always. The number should always come before the symbol. So your first answer is 49 pi centimeters squared. Remember to put the units on it. So here is the first answer. Second answer, you need to multiply it out. Okay, here we go. That is 36, carry your 3. That is 12, carry your 1, and 28. Okay, coming down to the next line, put your 0. 16, carry your 1. That is 5. And then 3 times 4 gives me 12. Okay, let's add those together. So 6 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. Okay, and then that gives me 5, and then bring down your 1. Okay, you got 2 numbers behind the decimal, so 1, 2. Put your decimal down. Your second answer, area, is 153.86, remember units, centimeters squared, and circle it. Try to be circling your answers today, boxing them in so that they're easier to find. Okay, let's do another one. Here we go. Look inside your circle. Because it goes all the way across, this is a diameter. I do not want a diameter. I need a radius all day today, so I need to divide this by 2. My radius is 6, so write it down, 6 yards. Next, formula again. Okay, we're not writing down the formula to torture you. You have to write it down. Okay, write it down again. But remember, this time, instead of putting R, let's plug in our radius. Okay, remember, if you need to write this out, write it out. This means 6 times 6. 6 times 6 leaves me with a value of 36. And bring everything else down. Okay, you need to flip-flop it over because your first answer needs to have the number in front always. That is the proper way to write your answer in terms of pi. Okay, put your units on it. So your first answer is 36 pi square yards. So there's your first answer. Okay, your second answer, you need to be doing pi, 3.14 times the 36. Okay, here we go. So it's 24, carry your 2, and 8, and 18. Put your 0 down on the next line. Don't forget to do that. So 12, carry your 1. That is 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 3 times 3 is 9. All right, add those together. 4 and 10. So here, 12, 13. And then what is that? 9, 10, 11. Okay, move it twice. So your second answer, the actual answer is 113.04 yards squared. All right, remember, 2 answers all day today. 1 in terms of pi, 1 written out after you've multiplied it by pi. Okay, last example, and then you can try them on your own. First things first, look inside your circle. Because it just goes from the center to the outside, this is your radius. So write it down, 2 kilometers. Next, always the formula, pi r squared. Then, rewrite that formula, but instead of r, you need to have 2 plugged in your radius to the second power. Okay, so let's look at what this looks like. 2 times itself. All right, 2 times 2 leaves me with 4. Bring down your pi and your area. Okay, remember, we want to flip-flop this over because I need the 4 in front of the pi symbol. Here is your first answer. Put the units on it, you guys. Second answer, remember, you need to multiply the 2 values. So 3.14 times 4. Okay, here we go. 16, and then 5, and then 3 times 4 is 12. Move it twice. Your second answer, area is 12.56 kilometers squared. Easy stuff, you guys, but you have got to take every single step that I've shown you today. Every single one of these steps needs to be written down today. All right, so you have a Got It page. in front of you. Make sure that you're checking your answers in the spreadsheet. You have 2 answers to check. So when you're checking your answers, this first answer, when you type it in, you would type in 4pi because it is 4 pi. The second answer, remember, you're just typing in the value. So make sure this is what you get typed in for each one of your answers today. All right, good luck.